Hello everyone, this is Navid Madanian. Uh, this is going to be a short tutorial. I'm going to go through uh, a known mistake and confusion that many struggle with. Even some experienced on Engine 4 users still do not know exactly how it works. I'm going to go through, uh, actually, I have prepared a couple of assets here. All are pretty much the same. And I'm going to explain how I've animated them and um, explain how animations actually are handled inside Unreal Engine for those who still do not know. Uh, let's run this. As you can see, two of these golden eggs animate and the other two do not. The first one, as the name suggests, is Alembic skeletal mesh, and well, we all know that Alembics are very easy to use. Whether it's skeletal or geometry, the result will be the same. Uh, the second is no bone. The second is actually a freeform animation. I've created this inside Maya, and then pretty much created the same animation of the other two eggs, and then only with freeform, and then keyframe that, and then baked animation, and export to Unreal Engine. And as you can see, it does not run an animation. The same goes for the for the last one. And the last one is also the second one does not have any bones hierarchy. It's just a mesh that have created an animation of vertices inside Maya, and well, it does not run in Unreal Engine. I will explain in a while why. And the last one also is the same as the third one, has bone hierarchy, and it is skinned and with vertex weight, but I animated it using vertices, not the bones. And as I said, all share the same animation, more or less, but the second and the fourth one do not run. The reason to this is that Unreal Engine, how Unreal Engine deals with animation, let's talk about FPX, the last three uh, golden eggs are FPX files. The first one is Alembic, of course. Is that many actually make this mistake and that they think that when they export FPX into Unreal Engine plays back an animation. The truth is Unreal Engine does not play back animations in FPX format, of course. Unreal Engine drives animations. Of course, there's an exception, which is morph targets. But aside from morph targets, Unreal Engine does not play back animation. It drives animation. So when you make an animation inside Maya, for example, when you export it to Unreal Engine does not plays it back. Unreal Engine drives it. But how? Unreal Engine only cares about the bone hierarchy and the weight of the bones per vertex. So when you export a skeletal mesh to Unreal Engine rates, okay, I have this skeletal mesh, I have this bone hierarchy, I have this list of weight for bones on vertices, and now the FX tells me that the bones are going to move like this. So based on the list of the vertices weights that are skinned on the skeletal mesh, I'm going to drive the movement, the transformation of the vertices. So that's why actually the second and the fourth examples do not run animation. The second one does not run because it does not have any bone hierarchy. And well, doesn't matter how I animated with vertices, Unreal Engine is not aware of that because Unreal Engine says, okay, I have no bones, and well, who cares about the who cares about the vertices weight? The last one is the same as the third one, animated. Uh, skinned, and let me just select this. Go to the animation doesn't matter. Look it up here. You can see that this is bone. This bone hierarchy. It's the same as this one. But the difference is that, as you can see, I have driven the animation using the bone, and since it is skinned and there's a weight on the vertices for different bones, OnEngine says, okay, I have this bone moving, and based on the information that they have from the FBX, that vertices are bound to this bone and corresponding to the weight that each vertex has, I'm going to drive the movement of the vertices based on information. I'm not going to play back the vertices movement. I'm going to drive it. That's why this one does not work, because you don't see anything, because they have made the same animation, but instead of moving the bone, I used the free form and then animated this egg. And OnEngine says, okay, I have this bone hierarchy. I know this bone hierarchy is bound to this skeletal mesh, and the weight are determined, but I see no movement of the bones. So I'm not going to drive any animation. I'm not going to move any vertices, because no bone actually is moving. And that's why the fourth one does not move, but the third one does. So this is a very important concept, and at the same time, a very basic that um, many make this mistake, and they confuse this, that why, especially in, for example, um, the studios that have recently moved to Unreal Engine for either games or cinematic users, they confuse that, okay, why my animations do not work. They create animations inside Maya, for example, with lots of modifiers and stuff, and when they export them to Unreal Engine, even when they bake the information, that Unreal Engine does not drive the animations. And that's because OnEngine is not aware of any bone, any vertex deformation in an FX format, except for morph targets. And OnEngine only reads the bone movements and the weight for that bones have on the vertices. So OnEngine drives animation, moves the vertices. OnEngine does not play back vertices; it moves the vertices. Uh, there are also other types of animations that we can use. One is, well, morph targets that comes with both Alembic and FX file. And there's no problem with that, and it's very simple. So I did not mention that. Also, there's another alternate to animating vertices, which is there's a node inside material editor that using the work position offset, it actually drives the movement of the vertices. I didn't mention that either, but again, this is the concept. This isn't something that I haven't seen anyone went through this concept, this important thing. So I thought it would be good to share this with you guys. So good luck and take care.